Welcome to the stage, my friend, my beautiful, amazing, brilliant Caterina. So happy to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Just take off. Bing, bing. All right, everybody, let's take a deep breath. I am blissing to be with you. Today is all about operations in your business. Now, guess what? You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about those things that you can put in place, those systems, those strategies, those little nuances that you can put in place to catapult your sales. Does that sound good? Because you know what? I want you to achieve sales bliss. Sales bliss. Now, what is sales bliss? Well, of course, you may have your own definition, but I'm going to give you the definition that I like for my clients. Sales bliss is when you have a steady stream of clients. You have as many clients as you want. You maybe even have a waiting list, and you're experiencing ease in bringing on your clients. Does that sound good? And you also love talking to people, and you look forward to connecting because you know that you are only going to be authentically selling. And now, what does that mean to authentically sell? That means that you are only going to invite people to be your client that you know are a good match for you, right? Now, the problem is that many women are not talking to enough people because they're afraid of being salesy. Well, I want to give you a super tip before I dive into the systems, which is that nobody is ever going to buy from you unless you have built influence with them. And when you build influence, you will find that people are very open to talking with you. And let me say it even this way, that there's two kinds of potential clients. You ready for them, my friends? Two kinds of potential clients. There's the prove it to me potential client, and there's the show me potential client. Now, which one do you think you want? The show me. So this is why you want to build influence before you ask people to buy. But you know what? That's a little bit hard if you're doing everything in your business, because the influence equation, which I'm going to give you right now, ready for it? Here it is. Visibility plus value plus consistency equals influence. But here's the challenge, my friends. You cannot be consistent if you're doing everything in your business. If you're the web designer, the graphic designer, the bookkeeper, the admin assistant, plus you're supposed to be the service provider, plus you're supposed to be the salesperson. Now, let's take a moment. Everyone take another deep breath. Now, Kimmy talked about empire. I want to talk about fempire. You are the queen of your fempire. Sometimes I like to say it this way. You're the Beyonce of your business. And what do I mean by that? Do you think Beyonce is sweeping the stage before the concert? Do you think Beyonce is sewing the costumes? No, her mom's got a whole team for that, right? Your job is a big one. In fact, you've got 5 jobs. And I'm going to give them to you right now. You ready for them, my friends? Here they are. These are the 5 pillars of building your fempire. Speaking in the broad sense of the word, speaking like we're doing now, but also your podcasting, your Facebook Lives, your clubhouse rooms, speaking, selling. Unless you have a sales team. Does anyone have a sales team? Okay, I can't see everybody, but I don't see any hands. Okay, well, I said one person has a sales team. Good. The rest of you, look in the mirror. There she is, sweetheart. There's your sales team. That's your job, right? Speaking, selling, serving your clients. Who's in charge of that? Probably you. Speaking, selling, serving. The next one is strategy. Who's in charge of the goal setting? Who's in charge of the calendaring? That's your job. That's a big job. And then the last one of your 5 pillars for building your fempire and growing your fempire and expanding your fempire is self-care. And this is something that passionate women on a mission like you probably could use a little upgrade. Well, how do we get time to be masterful at self-care and masterful at strategy and masterful at serving and masterful at selling and masterful at speaking? Because guess what? You don't only have to do these things. You have to master these things. That's your job. You got 5 big ones. So look at all the things that are not under those 5 pillars. Marketing. Hello, not your job. The marketing strategy is your job. Then you have somebody like Haley do the implementation. Why? Because you're in charge of the selling, and you're in charge of the visibility, the speaking, and you're in charge of the serving, and you're in charge of the strategy. And of course, you have to master your self-care. So the first thing I want to invite you to do is get more support in your business. That is the most important operations thing you can do. Now, here's where you say to me, well, Caterina, that's fine for you, but I don't have a lot of financial surplus. Sweetheart, you know why you don't have a lot of financial surplus? Because you haven't been inviting people to be your client. Now, here's where I want to give you the equation that is going to support your sales, okay? If you decide that you're doing a group program and you want 10 participants in that program this month, or you are a hypnotherapist and you decide you want 10 new clients this month, or whatever your business is, let's say you want 10 new signups or enrollments or clients this month. Well, how many people do you have to talk to? Well, I recommend that you take that number that you want and you times it by 4. And by the way, here's the thing, numbers don't lie. And not only do I want you to pay attention to your revenue numbers, but I want you to pay attention to how many people you have to talk to get a client. But the thing is that you can't do that you can't just do that for one day. You have to look at it over the whole month. Because there's actually 4 different kinds of clients. We talked about the 2 kinds of potential clients, right? The prove it to me and the show me. Well, there's 4 kinds of clients. There's the Insta client. They're ready to get started right away. Bing, bing, they meet you. Oh my gosh, you're so fabulous. Let's go. That's the Insta. Then there's the slow cooker. The slow cooker, they take 3 to 6 months. But guess what? You're going to miss them if you're not good at your follow-up because you're off doing the piddly stuff that's not your job. Did you hear that? That's important. The Insta, the slow, the super slow, they take up to a year. That's going to require some engagement, some consistently staying in touch. And then there's the super, super slow, and they take more than a year. Now, here's the part that I really want you to hear, though. If you are a slow cooker, you're going to miss the Insta clients. If you're a super, super slow cooker, you're going to be thinking everybody else is that way too. So here's an opportunity for you to have a sales aha right now. What kind of customer are you? Think about it. Because when you're that kind of customer, that's what you tend to be. I'm an Insta. I'm ready to go right away, which means that my challenge is to do the follow-up, keep people engaged. And I love, my favorite kind of client is, of course I love the Insta, but when you get a super, super slow cooker, somebody you've been talking to for years, and they come on board, bing, bing, you will be blissing for weeks. This is what I want you to recognize. Now, you say, okay, Caterina, how does this relate to systems? Well, the first thing is for you to do your math equation. If you want 10 clients, you got to talk to 40 people this month. You say, Caterina, that's a lot. No, it's not. Here's why it's not. Because you got a whole month to do it. And if that means you're talking to 10 people a week. 10 people a week. Now, I recommend that you schedule 20-minute appointments, because you know in the first 3 minutes if someone is a good match for you, if someone is a good potential client. But you can take that whole half hour if you need it, because you're only going to schedule calls every half hour. Now, notice, to talk to 10 people a week, that's only 5 hours. What else is more important than you bringing on new clients? I can't think of anything, because you know why? You want to have a profitable and sustainable business. And in order to do that, not only do you want to have clients, you want to create financial surplus. Financial surplus, extra money. And one of the things I want to encourage you to do is have clarity on what number is right for you. How much does it take to run your business every month? Times that by 3, that's your first surplus goal. And then times it by 6, and that's your ultimate surplus goal. That you have 6 months of revenue as surplus to operate your business, because you don't know what's coming. Hello, look at all the people who lost their businesses because they didn't have hardly any surplus. I don't want that for you. And I want you to have financial ease in your business and your life. Because you know what? Because what did I say when we started our time together? I said, I want you to achieve sales bliss. Do you remember that? You know what's bliss? When you don't have to worry about the money in your business. When you have surplus, when something comes up, when an exciting opportunity presents itself, and you can be an insta yes because you have surplus. So this is why I want you to focus on your sales more. So again, you want 10 new clients, you're going to talk to 40 people. Now, by the way, we always have extra. What I mean by that is, if I want to talk to 10 people this week, I'm going to schedule time to talk to 12 or 14, because people need to reschedule or they cancel. And you don't want to have 10 appointments on your calendar and then now you only talk to 6 people. Because remember, some of them are going to be insta, some are slow, some are super slow, and some are super, super slow. Say, okay, Caterina, I'll do that. I will schedule some time to talk to that many people. I'm hoping you're having this conversation with yourself right now. Who's ready to up your sales conversations? Okay, thank you, Barbara. I am blissing. That's the only one I see. There may be a few more. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, good. Bum, bum, bum. Because the more people you talk to, 2 things are going to happen. Wait, I did 3, but I meant 2. 2 things are going to happen. You're going to get more clients. But the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to get more masterful at selling. And when I teach sales to my ladies, I tell them, the more you do it, the better you get. And pretty soon you're going to do it with ease. And pretty soon you get to the place where you're not worried about what comes out of your mouth, because you're confident about talking to people because you've done it so many times. Say, okay, Caterina, I'm going to put this time on my calendar. Well, guess what? That's only part of the equation, okay? If you want 10 clients, you got to talk to 40 people, but you got to do 160 reach outs. Now, by the way, super tip alert, this is a place where you can get some support. Support, that's what I want for you. Sales support, where someone is even helping you with the reach outs. Now, what is a reach out? A reach out is when you reach out to somebody through direct messaging or through a personal email or through a personal text or a phone call. You remember that? Isn't it funny? I usually forget the phone call because we don't do it as much as we used to. Pick up the phone. That gets your positive energy out there. Say, hey, Sheila, it was great to see you at the XYZ. I would love to talk with you, connect, find out what's going on with you, and see if there's any way I can support you. When is a good time? Or here are a couple of good times. Your positive energy. Energy is alluring. Let me sidebar here. Let's take a deep breath. And say to you, whenever you're talking to people, you want to be wearing your cape. Ready for it? Cape. CAPE stands for certainty. Certainty that you have massive value to bring. Do you have certainty? If not, run, don't walk to get some certainty, okay? They don't sell it at the store, unfortunately. The way you get it is by serving your clients and getting great results. Certainty. The next one is authenticity. Be yourself. You don't got to be like anybody else. However you are is awesome and amazing, and your people will resonate with you. Did you hear that? Your people will resonate with you. There's a lifetime supply of people to serve. Don't worry about Mary Jane or Sheila who are not interested. That's okay. There's a lifetime supply of clients. You be you. You be you. Certainty, authenticity. The next one is positivity. You want to talk to any depresso people? I don't think so. You want to talk to any negativo people? I don't think so. I remember years ago when I first got caller ID, I thought to myself, what do I need caller ID for? I always pick up the phone. Then I started to pay attention and I saw the names and I thought, oh, that's going to be a depresso conversation. Because you know what? How people have been before, consciously or unconsciously, is how we think they're going to be this next conversation. Your positivity is very important. In fact, I set an intention that every time I talk to someone, my intention is that they get off the phone more uplifted than when they got on. Now, you might think that's challenging for a sales conversation. No, it's not. Because I believe in talking to people about possibilities, not problems. And that means they're always ready to talk to you. Certainty, authenticity, positivity, and the E is for enthusiasm. Bring your energy. That's the energy you bring to the conversation. By the way, stand up for your sales conversations. I'm standing up right now. If I was sitting down, I'd be more relaxo. I'd be more schlumpadinka. No, my friends, be energized. You're excited. Be excited for the people that you're talking to, for the possibilities that you can create for them with you together. Okay, so you're going to wear your cape, you're going to do your calls, and you're going to do your reach outs. Now, the reason you may not have the clients that you want is because you're not doing enough reach outs. Your friends on Facebook, your friends on LinkedIn, etc. These are all places for you to reach out. And now you might say, well, Caterina, I got a lot of friends on Facebook, but I don't really know them. Well, let's talk about how you do that and how you do that consistently, how you do that as a SOP, standard operating procedure. By the way, give me some Facebook love. My account got badly hacked a while back, so I look a little schlumpadinka in the friend department. I've got only about in the 500s. Send me some love so I can get back up to my 5,000 friends, please. Now, here's what you can do. If you have a Facebook group, if you have your friends and contacts on Facebook and LinkedIn, Insta, and Clubhouse, you can invite them to your monthly thing. Now, let's talk about what is your monthly thing. Remember we said a little earlier in our time together that the goal was to have you build influence with people before you ask them to buy. Everybody remember that? Well, one of the best ways to build influence and build relationship at the same time is to invite people to join you in a Zoom room for you to talk about whatever you want to talk about, your business, the value that you bring. But guess what? I'm not talking about a sales presentation. I'm not talking about a one-on-one. I'm talking about a one-to-many. And in fact, not only do I want you to do one in May, I want you to do one every month of the year. Every month of the year, I want you to do a Zoom thing. And you could do it once a month or twice a month. Now, why? Because then you always have something to invite people to. Carol, who's here with us today, Carol and I ran into each other in Southern California at an event this past weekend. At that event, I was saying to some ladies, hey, come to my thing. I did a thing yesterday. There was ladies from that event at my thing. I was talking to some people on Facebook about XYZ. Hey, come to my thing. I was doing some virtual networking. Hey, come to my thing. You want to always have a thing to invite people to. Because now I really don't say come to my thing. I say come to my Achieving Sales Bliss workshop. That's what I'd say, okay? I'm a little more specific when I'm talking myself. But for you, I'm saying you want to have a thing that you can invite people to. And by the way, I'm going to invite you at the end of our time together. I could put those links in now to join me for my upcoming Achieving Sales Bliss free workshop, because I want to support you. And it's not only an info-packed workshop, it's also a great opportunity for you to see how I do my thing so that you can enhance doing your thing. And I want to mention, I'm also putting my free link in here and my information, because the other thing is that I got a video for you that I want you to watch. It's free, that will support you and with reach outs. Okay, but here's what I want to say. Because I have 7 minutes and I got a lifetime supply of stuff to talk to you about. And I see your question, Jeanette. Let me get to it a little bit later. So here's the thing. You say, Caterina, sounds good. But you know what? How do I get people to come to my thing? Maybe you've tried that before. And you posted here and you posted there and you sent an email and you put it on your website. Well, you know what, my special friend? All of that is promotion. And what puts smiles on the screen? What puts derrieres in chairs? Now, if we're being live and in person, maybe some of you are being live and in person. I've got a center in San Francisco where we used to do lots of live and in person, and we're starting to do that again. The way you get people to show up is not with promotion. Yeah, you can do promotion and it might put a few smiles on the screen, but the way to get people to show up is through personal invitation. All those reach outs we discussed, those are personal reach outs. And you say, Sheila, I would love for you to come to my thing. Here's the link. Well, you say, I would love to, whatever the title of your workshop is. Here's the link. Now, here's what's going to happen. Sheila and everybody else you're reaching out to, they were raised right. They're going to respond. But you know what they have to do before they respond? They have to make a decision. They have to look at their calendar. This is why a personal reach out, which is a personal invitation, will support you 10 times more than promote. You still got to promote, but you will find that the personal invitation beats promotion every time, because it requires a decision, which promotion does not do. Now, on my free links page, CaterinaRando.com/links, which I put in the chat, you will see my geotargeting video, Facebook geotargeting video, free for you to watch. I encourage you to watch it. It will change your life. And let me tell you why. Because it will show you how to, on one page, identify all of your friends in one area and easily, quickly send them a direct message without going to their profile. Bing, bing, bing. You're going to love it. I have clients that can do 5 minutes, do 20 reach outs. I have clients that have doubled and tripled their revenue and their show ups at their things with this one strategy, because it is also a personal reach out, which is building relationship. Okay, let me take your question, Jeanette. Go ahead.
Oh, you asked who was, I'm sorry, I didn't realize my hand was still up. You had asked who was going to do something, so I raised my hand. So
Yay!
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Jeanette. Bing, bing. Thank you for being a woman of action. Yay. All right, my friends, let's take a deep breath. Okay, so now here's the other thing. Again, so let me just recap some SOPs and then I'm going to come again. One SOP, standard operating procedure for your business, is to do a monthly Zoom thing. But here's the thing. You've got to also, as SOP, standard operating procedure, schedule time for the sales conversations after. But you also have to have time for the reach outs before. Here's a sales super tip of super tips. You ready for it, my friends? When you're inviting people to your thing and they're saying yes, my doorbell just rang. You want to also schedule a time to talk to them after. Did you hear that? I'm going to open my door while I do this. With me? 1 second.
Bing, bing.
Bing, bing, bing. So the idea is, oh, not there. The idea is, see my house, my friends? Bum, 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 bum. Okay, the idea is that you schedule the follow-up sales conversation for after your event. You got it? You with me on this? So when the event happens, you've already got some of your sales conversations scheduled. And as a result, you are going to be blissing because that follow-up is already on the calendar. Now, I got another standard operating procedure for you that I want you to embrace. I want you to look at your calendar for the rest of the year. When do you go networking? You go networking first Monday of the month. You go to the XYZ group at lunchtime. Schedule time for follow-up after that event. Do not have any networking on your calendar without follow-up. Those of you that speak, make sure you have, after every speech, time for follow-up. You vibing with me on that? Now, again, SOP, standard operating procedure. Also, look at your calendar. Block out your sales time every week for the rest of the year as an SOP. Caterina, why am I going to do that? Because then it's there and you can move it if you need to, but this way you won't forget about it. Okay, my friends, here's what I want you to know. You got massive value to bring. There's a lifetime supply of people to serve. Your job is to get these sales SOPs in place so you can sell more, serve more, and uplift more lives. I invite you to join me for my next free Achieving Sales Bliss workshop. I invite you to check out my multiple amazing resources on my free links page. By the way, if you're on Clubhouse, please follow me and I'll follow you back. I host 2 rooms a week because together, a rising woman, that's you, lifts all the women around her. And that's what we're going to do together. Mwah. Privileged to be with you, my friends. Thank you so much. Calling me anytime for any reason. Bing, bing, bing.